Well, let's talk about that transition then from going from these bigger consulting firms into your own firm.
There's some entrepreneurs in my family, so maybe had been drawn to the idea of starting a business, but never really considered it in the actuarial field. It was always just that fun, like watching Shark Tank, like what could you invent? But in 2020, I had been traveling Monday through Thursday for my projects. So March 6th, 2020, got back to Seattle where I lived at the time and got off the road and had to get onto these other non-actuarial projects to stay utilized. And, we're all sitting in our house working virtually, and everything was stripped away other than just the work that you were doing. At that time, I think once everything was stripped away and it was just the work and the people, I realized I really loved the people I worked with. But I was at that point in my career where I was starting to be subject to the rules, but didn't really understand why the game had to be played that way. And so sitting there, that was my pastime with my now husband in the kitchen, like vision boarding, like what it would look like to run a business that's super people centric. Given what we're selling is essentially our people skills in consulting. And I think when I hit that point of feeling a little bit of a cog in a wheel, just a number in this large organization, no different from any large organization, I also heard about the women-owned business requirements. So I had the motivation, which I think is the much bigger piece, like the drive, the reason why I wanted to start a company, and then the opportunity, which was that there were these supplier diversity programs that are varying levels of popularity depending on the region and the program, but women-owned business and minority-owned business requirements that either give bonus points if you're pursuing as a prime contractor, or there's maybe a subcontract requirement for a large firm. And I'd been volunteering in the industry and had gotten to know people at a lot of different firms. And I felt like I could activate those relationships to use that as a foot in the door. And